Hey, y'all, hey, let me tell y'all some of my business right quick. We all got a pass. Let me tell you about the time I caught my boyfriend cheating. hmm I done had several boyfriends in my lifetime, but this one I really, really loved. I really, really loved this joker and caught him cheating. This was over 20 some years ago. But I caught him cheating, look, red handed, look, right in the act. Not in the act like that, you know what I mean? But I caught him. So back in the day, I used to work this job as a flagger on the road. Y'all know what a flagger is? A flagger is somebody that holds the stop and slow or stop and go sign while they're working on the road. I mean, it's an easy peasy job. And back then, I made like 20 some dollars an hour doing it. Me and my best friend, we both worked that job that summer, and our checks was wonderful. But I believe that job is for a man. I don't think no woman should be out there on that road sweating in the heat like that, getting nice and tanned up real bad. Let me put it like that. But anyway, that was my job for the summer. So we was getting off work one night and on our way home, and so how you feel like something just ain't right. They call it women's intuition. So that's a part of it, because a woman can feel in her gut when something ain't right. But also, I had gifts that God has. I understand what they are now, but I didn't understand then because I didn't go to church then. I was in the world heavy. So I didn't understand my gifts. I didn't even know that they were gifts. I just knew things before it would happen. My friends always say, dang, Kim, you said that. Or how do you know that? And, they would ask me if I was a psychic and stuff. I was like, honey, I don't believe I'm no psychic, but I don't even know how I know. I really don't know how I know. Back then, that's what I said. I know now. But anyway, I felt it. I felt it. I said, something is not right. I said, after we get home and after I get my shower and, we eat and everything, I said, I'm going to pull up on him. She said, oh my gosh. She was like, you really, really do think he's doing something? I said, yes. Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I know it. I couldn't even describe it, family. I knew it. So I said, but first, we got to go in town. I had to go up in town to pick up a little package to smoke, because y'all know I used to smoke. God delivered me from it. Ain't no bones about it. I'll tell anybody. And I had to go in town to pick up my homeboy because he had it. So he riding with us. He was game for some of that foolishness I was always He was like, Kim, you crazy. Can I ride? I said, yes. And go ahead and roll up, because I need to be in another frame of mind, because I'm about to bust him, because something ain't right. So we was taking our time getting over there because we was smoking, and we pulled up. When we pulled up, how about he's sitting in a rental car in the parking lot of his apartment complex. So I pulled up. I was like, hey. He was like, hey. He said, what you doing? I said, no, what you doing? He said, no, what you doing? I said, no, nobody. Nobody. What are you doing? So he was like, man, just get in the car. Just get in the car. So I told my best friend and my homeboy, I said, I'll be back, y'all. Let me go holler at him right quick. Got in the car. I'm so busy laying him out and so busy fussing him out, I didn't even realize that old boy was on his way taking me home. I didn't realize till we got down there by Rodney Village. Y'all know where Rodney Village is, on our way to Camden. I used to live in Camden. So we passed in Rodney Village, all the way from Country Village. Y'all know where Country Village is? So I said, hold up. I said, where we going? They said, I'm taking you home. I said, oh. I said, yeah, it's something that you don't want me to see. I said, man, turn this car around. Turn this car around. I said, they back there waiting for me. Why would you take me home? I said, okay. Just like I thought, it's something you don't want me to see. Honey, turned that car around. We on our way back to Country Village. He over there looking like he is just, oh my God, like the cat that swallowed a canary. I'm telling you. Just guilty, 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 guilty. old boy was guilty, and he knew I was going to bust him. He was trying to figure out a way to get up out of that. But nope. And so many times he would say, how do you know? How do you know some of the stuff you know? And I wouldn't even be able to explain to him how I knew. I just knew. So we pull up back into the apartment complex, back into the parking lot. How about my homegirl said, Kim, you about to be mad. I said, just tell me. Just tell me. She said, tell me why old girl just walked into his apartment building with an overnight bag. I said, oh. She said, and she came back out of the apartment building and she didn't have the overnight bag. I said, oh, so she left it in there. I said, oh, so that means she got a key. She was like, mm-hmm. So I just looked at him, and he just couldn't say nothing. He just put his head down and then just was looking at me. She said, and on top of that, old girl is sitting in her truck, parked down a little bit. I said, oh, really? I said, oh, let me go on over there and holler at her then. Child got out the car, walked down there. Look, he trying to walk just as fast as I'm walking. I should have broke out running. I should have broke out in a full sprint, but I was so mad. So finally got over there to her, and she's sitting in the car. She's sitting in her truck, turned around with the door open, the driver's side door open. She's turned around in the truck so she could face me, and I walked right up on her. Oh my God, she could have hopped on me or anything, but I walked right up on her, just almost right between her legs, almost. I said, what's up? She was like, what's up? I said, no, what's up with you and old boy? And she said, oh, what did he tell you? I said, oh, you done told me everything I needed to know. I said, yeah, you done answered my question. And so he was standing right behind me. And I said, you can have him. I told him, I said, you can have her. I said, because I'm done. I'm done. I say, anybody that's slick, that's trying to maneuver that slick, this is how people catch stuff that you can't get rid of. They sleeping with multiple people and using no protection. But the pickle was, I loved him. Out of a lot of boyfriends that I had, I loved that man right there. Loved them. My daughter, Megan, is 35 years old. She was 3 at the time. She was 3, about to turn 4. This is how long ago that was. And the reason, what made me think about it, family, was he called me the other day when it was my birthday, January 14th, on my birthday. And then text me and said, happy birthday, beautiful. Guess what I said? Thank you. That's it. That's all. Some people, it's like all you can give them is a thank you. All you can give them is a, hey, how you doing? Thank you very much. And keep it pushing. Some hurts just cut you so deep. You forgive them and everything. You ain't sitting somewhere harboring unforgiveness in your heart and bitterness. You know what I mean? But have y'all ever been cheated on?